streets, Sutek tried to line it up. And he was like, I don't debate y'all. Y'all too disrespectful. Aboriginal Power won't even debate Sean because he too disrespectful.
He is though. No, he really is though. I can't really like you, bro. You cool. Not a coincidence. I actually chop it up, but niggas that come off too heated and disrespectful, like I said, I'll debate you, bro. But we gotta get in the ring first. If you want to be disrespectful like that, at least disrespect me in the ring, bro. Let's start now, bro. Can you disrespect me in a cage, bro? Like, I'd rather just do that. Then we go straight from the cage. I mean, put your ice on the way to the motherfucking computer, and we'll debate directly after that, nigga. Shit.
That's why I don't need these. Fucking with the nigga and shit. You feel me? Like, it's like, wait, bro, talk like that. He is. We gotta get face to face with you to talk to you like that, my nigga.
Yeah, Peanut. You feel? Go ahead, I got my brother already. Peanut, what's the word, brother?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, but Lucky, let me say this, man. First of all, I'm an older brother. I'm young in spirit because I stay in shape. But I'm older. I deserve respect. Don't lie on me. You're not going to get nowhere lying because that's what's going to make you fall face first. Second of all, I'm well known in the Pan-African community. I'm not nobody new. You're younger than me. You don't know this. I didn't put in work and expose Rob Bourne, Sutek, any of them people over there. They know it deep down inside. And I'm gonna be long-winded. I'm a Moorish American. I already had back and forth with them dude. They erased videos. I'm not running from anybody. Don't ever say that stupid shit again. Third, and last but not least, I'm not losing no debate to no Pan-African. So don't ever say that shit again, famo. And that's it. Appreciate y'all, man.
You heard that? If Sean P want to debate, don't come debate the champ over here, right?
Sutek wanted so this like it's a pecking order. It's a pecking. So Sean want you, and Sutek want him. You say PMF ain't on his
no problem. It's no problem, man. Let's set up the Sutek debate, man. I don't like him anyway.
Okay, so I love that son, brother. I love that warrior mentality.
Let's have it on. I love you. Tell Sutek. Tell me. There ain't nothing. My champ always in the chat. I'll pop in. We'll set a topic. We'll set a date. We'll make it pay-per-view. We'll chop it up behind the scenes. I get their contact. We'll make it work. You know? Right here. He ain't ducking no phase, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. He do this over here on y'all channel, but then when we get in other
hey, alright, I will block your ass, nigga, because I'm well known for disrupting them chats over there, nigga. Stop fucking lying, nigga. You a goofy, nigga. I would never let a lame ass nigga lie on me in my face, clown.
You gonna block me and I don't be
It ain't no time I ain't ever been on the Pan-African channel and made my impact. Stop lying. I'm a real man, bro. Stop lying, fam. Don't do PNF like that.
PNF, he trying to trigger you, brother.
Word the fuck up.
But listen, he did that to me, talking about, oh, word on the street, I'm ducking from John P. I've never even had but one conversation with this little disrespectful motherfucker.
Oh, okay, yeah, he a little hot. He like that.
So he like...
What I'm trying to say in the final analysis, once we take control of ourselves, we have to stop being imitators and be innovators. And realize we've got a continent 12 million square miles. Wherever our bodies are on the face of this earth, our cultural and political heartbeat is in Africa. Whether you ever go to Africa or not, that is your home, that is the home of your spirit, and that is the heart and meaning and definition of your commitment. And none of us, any place in the world, will be free until that continent is free.
The Mossy Warrior Clan was created because myself and others like Brother Nahisi saw a need for a young African group to analyze information concerning the African phenomenon with no bias, with rigor, and with scholarship. We created the Mossy Warrior Clan for the purpose of being an expert research team, of being a team that produced products, a team that was capable of producing products for African people globally to dispel myths, rumors, and provide them with accurate scholarship.
Peace to everybody out there in the chat. Your boy Sean P in the place to be, man. I'm not going to drag this out. I'm going to get straight to it. So I was a part of a conversation earlier, right? Hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah. Okay, they finna start this debate. So I'm not going to be too long because I just want to kind of get this in before this debate start on this little subject matter. But anyway, I was a part of a conversation earlier, and I'm having a dialogue with a group of people. And in the dialogue was them being defensive about someone that they were trying to protect that had said something. And they wanted to explain away the fact or ignore the fact that initially, when they said what they said, I asked for a source. They wanted to explain away the fact that how I came at that person the second time, that it led that I was, amped up and that I was being met with disrespect or whatever the case may be. But that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation. It's not, I really don't feel like elaborating because I feel like, that's saying something that I'm not even trying to get into right now. But the mere motherfucking fact is that I was asked, when I asked for a source, it was like, why do you need a source? Who are you? I was asked that question to be asking for a source. This is something that people do a lot when they want to avoid providing the evidence for their argument. I'm going to say that one more time. When people say the words, who are you to be asking for a source, or who are you to be requiring a source, they are avoiding the fucking argument. Okay? Let's just get that clear. So I'm about to explain away educationally why Sean. Now you heard in the intro, that last video that I just dropped, why Ben said him and Nahisi put the Mossy together. A piece of that was in the intro already. So anytime I am around or in an environment where people are having a conversation, I know the difference between a conversation and then a motherfucker trying to smooth me over and sell me some shit that ain't true. So if I hear the slick stuff and I require a request, I'm requiring a request because I want to know where you got that from. How did you reach your conclusion? But who am I to ask for that, you ask? Goes to show you know very little about who I am in general. So let me explain myself to you about who I am. A lot of people in this chat, they already know who I am. They might label me whatever they want to label me. I don't care. But they know that in the middle of a conversation, that if you start saying something too slick, that I'm going to say something, regardless of where I'm at. And I don't care if we on YouTube. I don't care if we at the barbershop. I don't care if you're in my backyard. I don't care if you're at my mama house. I don't give a damn where we are. We can be in a car or on an airplane. I am going to ask you, how did you reach that conclusion? Because I want to know how you arrived at such point based on whatever evidence that you acquired your knowledge from. See, asking for the information doesn't require who I am. Asking for the information is to provide clarity in the discussion to support the shit that you're saying. You don't believe me? I'm going to give you an example. There's a debate today. I'm not going to say on whose channel, because that motherfucker's ducking the fade. But the debate topic is DNA a hoax? And can they trace lineage to the African and African American? This is a debate. That ain't the only example that I have. A person wants to debate me, right? Well, he ducking the debate because I said that white people in America were not enslaved by black people. They weren't even slaves. He said that they were, and that black people own white slaves. I'm giving you, that's two examples. I'm going to give you another example. A motherfucker told us that George Washington was black. So was Abraham Lincoln. And so was some other motherfucker that we damn sure know ain't black. I'm the same way at my mama's house. I don't count. You want me to call and get on the phone? She'll tell you. I'll argue with her. I don't give a fuck. What you're not going to do is you're not going to misrepresent the facts. I don't care who you are. You're not going to lie to me. I've been lied enough. I've been told about a nigga that walked on water. I've been told about a motherfucker performing all these miracles, doing all this other miraculous shit. I've been told a whole lot of bullshit that I was raised up on that I believed in. I was told that I had to get this motherfucker 10% of my earnings every week. All kinds of crazy stuff. Never met the motherfucker. Never seen them before. Don't even know if they existed. Ain't died for shit. While my grandmama's struggling, getting $600 a month. Giving up her money to, no. Nah, not here. I've been lied to enough. That I gotta believe in the afterlife before I can get my heaven on earth. I've been lied to enough. I gotta die to get heaven on, to get this feeling that I've been starving for since I was a child. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. We the only people think like that. But none of you motherfuckers is ready to die to go live this glorious afterlife with the end all be all said deity that you all praise. Why the fuck you ain't fell off the earth yet? But the reason why we here is because I need to pass the bar. apparently motherfuckers don't know who I am. So I need to pass the bar, right? So here's the reason why I asked for sources. I told you I'm not going to be all day. I'm going to get directly to the motherfucking point. I was going to show you a couple of videos, but that would be dragging this out. So I want to start my argument here. I'm gonna start in Wiki. I hope you people can see this screen, and I'm gonna be very intelligent right here in this discussion right here. Very intelligent in this discussion. Absolutely. So play the organ while I'm talking. Source credibility. It is a term commonly used to imply communicators' positive characteristics that affect the receiver's acceptance of a message. I want y'all to digest that for a minute. Source credibility is a term commonly used to imply a communicator's positive characteristics that affect the receiver's acceptance of a message. So when I'm on a phone call, or if I'm listening to a debate, or I'm in a discussion with people on YouTube, the first thing that I am doing is I am a receiver or an acceptor of a message from someone that is communicating in my direction. So whatever they are implying or asserting in that communication in my direction or others, it needs to be a message. I begin to look at the credibility of the source, which is first in the claimant. Secondly, academic studies of this topic began in the 20th century and were given a special emphasis during World War II when the U.S. government sought to use propaganda to influence public opinion in the support of the war effort. Psychologist Carl Hovland and his colleagues, they worked at the War Department upon this during the 1940s and then continued experimental studies at Yale University. They built upon the work of researchers in the first half of the 20th century who had developed a source message channel receiver model of communication, and with Muzaffar Sharif developed this as part of their theories of persuasion and social judgment. So about this shit. Source credibility theory is an established theory that explains how communications, y'all see this next word, perseverance is affected by perceived credibility of the source of the communication. The credibility of all communication, regardless of format, has been found to be heavily influenced by the perceived credibility of the source of that communication. Ladies and gentlemen, I am on a call and I am listening to someone that is asserting or saying certain things. My spidey senses begin to tingle as this motherfucker continues to talk. I am going to ask for a source. One, to show credibility in the shit that you're communicating. Two, to substantiate that what I am hearing is either accurate or inaccurate. Three, so that other people can identify a motherfucker that's full of shit when I hear full of shitness. Now, I do understand that bothers people that are intimately engaged and involved and feel a way about other individuals. I don't care about your feelings. We are arguing information. You could be doing 1,000 things with this person. It does not matter to me. I don't even care if I get along or even agree with the person. If it's something that is disingenuous and said incorrectly, I am going to call it out, as you should do me. The idea of credibility was first derived from Aristotle, who argued that the speaker's reliability must be built and established in speech, and that what the speaker did or said before such a speech was not of importance. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the far back that don't understand the message. The idea of credibility was first derived from Aristotle, who argued that the speaker's reliability must be built and established in speech, and that what the speaker did or said before such a speech, was not of importance. That means I don't care if they just robbed a 7-Eleven. Nobody knew it was them initially, and then you later found out that they robbed the 7-Eleven. Whatever you're having a conversation with this person about in that time, is it credible, factual, and can it be supported by the data? If not, just like the piece of shit they is for robbing the 7-Eleven in the 21st century, the information is the same way. They robbing us of our intelligence. I don't care who they are. Aristotle divided the aspects of persuasion into 3 categories: ethos, credibility; pathos, emotion; logos, logic. Credibility, emotion, and logic. As credibility refers to people believing who they trust. Emotion and logic indicate a person's emotional connection and means of reasoning to convince one of the particular argument and or speech. The area of source credibility is studied for practical applications in communication, marketing, law, and political science. Let me, before I move on, emphasize these 3 things again. Aristotle divided the aspects of persuasion into 3 categories: ethos, credibility. So immediately, I don't know you. You're a complete stranger to me. Never had a communication with you. So your credibility is on the line immediately when you begin to hold a conversation and start getting out that shit that's in your head. 2, pathos, your emotions. How passionate are you about the things in which you are communicating about? 3, logos, logic. Are you using faulty logic? Are you very illogical? Or are you really just logical in what you're saying, and you can provide the credibility behind that, and you are balanced in your emotion? Meaning you could be high, you could be low, you kind of average out in the middle. Who gives a fuck? There we are. I said it. But my point is, if you say the wrong shit, your credibility is flushed down the toilet. When you become emotional about being challenged about your credibility, that is a problem. And when you're not being logical and you are illogical, you have ran from the conversation. Therefore, you're going to say, well, who are you to be asking me for a source? They know who I am. You don't know who I am. You goddamn right. I don't know shit about you, like you might not know shit about me. However, in order to get to know me, your credibility is on the line. Immediately. You sounded like them preachers on Sunday morning. I'm not listening to that. You sound like the niggas with bean pies on the street corners. I'm not listening to that. You sound like them dudes in Harlem, New York on the corner arguing on 125th, talking about the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, the 9th, and 10th dimension and receiving energy from other people. I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to numerology. I'm not listening to birth chart. I'm not listening to none of that. Let the shots land where they may. Let me move on. The reason that we ask for a source is because we need to evaluate the source. This shouldn't be something that should behoove people and send you up in a roar and make you be like, well, who are you to ask for a source? Well, who are you? I don't know you. What you asking me for a source for? Because I ain't going to let you make shit up. I'm the person that ain't going to let you make shit up. I want you to support your shit with the data. and if said data is thorough. Because I'm about getting it right. Not playing on people's emotions, not pulling their legs in chains. I'm about getting it right. Your credibility is in question with me. I don't know you, and you don't know me, and I ain't trying to get to know you. I don't need no new friends. But in this communication that we're having, we got to have some credibility. We also got to have some logic. And if we're passionate about the things in which we're having a conversation about, we're going to have some emotion about it. And we can be that intelligent. So, from the many volumes of electronic resources that you have access to through the Harvard Library System to many resources available on the web, finding information has never been easier. We're in the information age, ladies and gentlemen. It's never been easier. But at times, the sheer volume of information available to you can be overwhelming. How will you know which sources to rely on? How will you decide which sources are appropriate for a particular assignment? How can you determine if the data on a website is trustworthy? What's the difference between what a peer-reviewed journal offers and what a website like Wikipedia offers? Although the most useful sources for a given assignment will be depend on the assignment itself, as well as on the kinds of sources generally relied upon in your field of study. There are some universal rules that will help you decide whether to use a source. Once you determine whether a source is worth looking at, you'll still need to figure out what will you do with it in your paper, how to cite the information and ideas you draw from it, and how to avoid plagiarism, which is one of the main things. When you write for an academic audience, you are responsible for making sure that the information you provide and any ideas you cite come from the sources that are both reliable and appropriate for your assignment. The most reliable sources are those that have been vetted by scholars in the field, articles published in peer-reviewed journals, and books published by academic publishers. You got people out here that are providing you with misinformation, and they're never being challenged on that misinformation, and they're writing books. Some of them are plagiarizing and then misinterpreting the data and then putting that shit out there to you as if they did their own research and this is what they came up with, until you find out that they've been copying and pasting some shit from somewhere else, and then they don't even understand what it is that they copied and pasted, and then they put their spin on it to try to sell their point. So we need to look in reliable directions for vetted information, absolutely. Because if we're in a discussion and we learn some things and we're able to speak to that in which we learn, we should be able to provide an adequate source to support that of which we speak. Your integrity is on the line. No matter what you're working on, keep in mind that not all sources are appropriate for your project. Ding, 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 ding. Just because someone has written something down doesn't mean it is a reliable source. I saw one of those this morning. I'm not going to bring that up right now. There's no need for me to be able to do that. Before you decide to rely on a source, you should evaluate the source and decide whether it is appropriate to use in your paper. You should always determine the qualifications of the author. I'm going to repeat that because somebody missed the morning message years ago. You should always determine the qualifications of an author. When you get into a conversation with people and you're providing them a source and you don't even know who the author is, the type of work they're into, and if this is a valid or vetted piece of documentation, don't bring it in my vicinity. I'm going to shred it because I'm going to do the work that you're not going to do. I'm going to qualify your author on the subject matter, and if they are a vetted expert in the field. Yes, I am. I'm going to do every bit of it. So again, you should always determine the qualifications of the author, the purpose of the source, because most people will bring you a source and then start talking about some shit the source don't even say. Yo, the argument is about, let me give it to you one more time, is DNA a hoax? And can it provide evidence for lineage? But yet you're on a tangent about people that ain't got nothing to do with answering the research questions. You should always determine the qualifications of the author, the purpose of the source, that is, in what context it was created, the scope of the source, what it covers, and what depth, and where relevant, the currency of the said source. Oh, feelings, nothing more than feelings. That's right, Mika. I always been like this. We ain't sugarcoating nothing. Mike TV is mad. Mike TV, welcome to some real information, because your credibility is in question. This bill today could inspire and help you be more reliable, right? Because there are some things that I heard in one of your debates with Callie. Yeah, that was questionable, because you was making some claims in that first and second round that wasn't supported by the evidence, because you were cherry picking and you didn't read the whole source. So you tried to sound intelligent and real slick-like for your audience, for people who have bought into your persona, because you attack some of the same people we attack, but you attack them in a way to build up your credibility. So you're trying to tear down the people on the same bullshit you're on so that you can rise up further and further, i.e. your attacks on Dane Calloway when you're pseudo your goddamn self. Top Cats, pseudo your goddamn self. You're providing, right? You're out there trying to also do genealogy or some shit I heard. I don't know that to be true, so I don't want to assert that on you. If I'm incorrect, correct me where I'm wrong. However, you sound way worse than me. You talking about how another man sound. And it's okay. My voice isn't pleasant for everyone. I'm not here to please anyone with my voice. I am here to provide accurate information, that in which you don't have the integrity to provide, because you got you a little card through those people by instigating and weaving your way through there. You still don't have the genealogical records or the genetic evidence to provide such a claim to even be offered a card. Yeah, we heard the story. You just been playing in the back, trying not to get involved in this smoke, because you don't want this smoke either. You like AP, you running. You like all the elbows. That's why y'all stay away from over here, because that real information, y'all try to like push it to the side. But let me get back to my point. No matter what you're working on, keep in mind that not all sources are appropriate for your project. Just because someone has written something down doesn't mean it is a reliable source. But you decide to rely on a source. You should evaluate the source and decide whether it is appropriate to use in your paper. You should always determine the qualifications of the author, the purpose of the source, the scope of the source, and where relevant, the currency of the source. So without going too far, you heard me bring up some key points. One of these other key points is, what are the author's credentials? I just explained a lot of that because it's influential in your conversation. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, what is the purpose of the source? Damn, you just brought up the source. We read the whole source and it didn't even support the shit that you said. You just wasted our time because the source is always going to be arguing from a different perspective. So hold on, let me go back because I want to talk to the people that always ask, why do I ask for a source? Who am I to ask for a source? Because I am looking for the credibility of the said claim from that person. So I need the author's credentials in which they obtain that knowledge. And I need to vet the author. The second, I need the purpose of the source from the said author for numerous reasons. Why? Before you rely on the source, you should always try to figure out why the source was written and for whom the source is intended. For example, is the author an academic who is engaging in a particular scholarly conversation? Does the author cite other major works or data about the topic? Or is this a personal response to an issue or text? Does the author have some kind of financial stake in expressing a particular point of view? Does the author work for an organization with known viewpoint on the issues discussed in the source? Is it important to make sure that you ask these questions so that you'll know whether a source is useful to consult? For example, a summary of an issue written by an author who works for an organization with a known political viewpoint on that issue might be quite different from a summary of that issue published by an academic who researches the issue. What is the scope of the source? Consider the source. Try to determine what it covers and in what depth. Does the source make an argument relevant to the topic? Does it respond to your argument that's made by other scholars? Does it lay out the background information relevant to the topic? Does it summarize other research on the topic? If you wanted to gain background information on this topic, would looking at this article be enough, or would you need to consult other sources? For more information about the scope and goals of the source, you can often consult an article's abstract, a short summary of the article's main ideas, or the book's introductions to get a sense of how it might be useful to you in your research. Who published the source? Is the publication a peer-reviewed journal? Where did it come from? I'm just going to skip right to it. This is why I always provide the sources in every show I do. For this mere fact right here, peep game. If you are using a source from social media, TikTok, YouTube, or a tweet, or another social media post, it is important to make sure you understand who has created the post, what source they cite in the post, what the purpose of the post is before you assume it is a reliable source for your paper. While some online content creators do rigorous research, many do not. Motherfucker, I am one of the many. The Mossy, we are one of the many. It ain't a lot of us, but we not many. We are one of the few. Not a coincidence. Each one teach one. Unc them. Even for Garfield. Right? Some people in the chat already know who does rigorous research. We don't do this to create content. We do this to edify and educate through this content and make it available for people to understand and learn and grow and develop, and how to recognize the smoke and mirrors from everything else, so they can't get played. So when I ask for a source, these are the things that I am thinking of already when I'm listening to people. How current is the source? Most people will bring you a source from 2001 and argue with it as if we don't have a more updated source on said information. This is important because information evolves, more data is available, and the scholarship is updated. Therefore, what may have been published in 2001 may be refuted and gone up out of there because of the better data we have in 2024. Period, point blank. Researchers in the social sciences and natural sciences place a premium on the most current up-to-date scholarship in the field. This means that literature review of a particular topic was published 10 years ago is much less relevant than one that was published this year. In other fields, currency may be less important. You should always check with your instructor if you have your questions about the currency of your sources. That's why we always say, look at the who is the author? When was the article written? Is there other supportive information inside the article that we can extract from to support the author's argument? And is it coming from a credible or reliable? Was it published in a credible or reliable area? Even if it's not published in that area, if it's meeting the other criteria and we're able to support it, we can move forward. We know how to vet. I'm not going to go too far into evaluating journal articles, which is a key indicator in case those are being used. But y'all are starting to get the reason and the gist of why I asked for fucking sources. That's why we here. Yeah, when I say each one teach one, I'm talking about everybody in that body. That's True Story, and that's Rob Warren, that's Jehudi Ma'at. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it buck, and everybody, Gullah, everybody that's a part of that. You know what I'm saying? The sisters, all of that. Now, what are credible sources and how to spot them? A credible source is free from bias and backed up with evidence. It is written by a trustworthy author or organization. There are a lot of sources out there, and it can be hard to tell what's credible and what isn't at first glance. Evaluating source credibility is an important information literacy skill. It ensures that you collect accurate information to back up the arguments you make and the conclusions you draw. Types of sources. Ladies and gentlemen, we argue this all the time. There are many different types of sources, which can be divided into three categories: primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. Primary sources are often considered the most credible in terms of providing evidence for your argument, as they give you direct evidence on what you are researching. However, it's up to you to ensure the information they provide is reliable and accurate. You will likely use a combination of these three types over the course of your research process. I'm up right there. Anybody out there that's lost, all my sources is in the description. You ain't got to say where you get that from, where it look like, yada, yada, yada. No. I don't do that. I provide clarity for everybody that I come across. Y'all see Mike TV came in here and ran. He don't want to smoke. He don't want to smoke. Not with me. No, he don't. Look, I'm finna show y'all something. 6 reasons why citations of sources is important when writing. I'm not really going to get into that, but I provide the 6. It says attribution serves as a fact-checking tool. Citation makes you a better researcher. Citation makes you a better researcher. Citation makes you a better researcher. So when we say, what's your source on that? We know what level of research you on. If you're level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4, if there's 4 levels to involve, or it may be even a 5th level. Who gives a damn? But what I'm saying is this lets us know what level of research on. If you just scratching the surface, you ain't did enough. You got to go beyond that. We learned that a long time ago. But my point is saying citations make you a better researcher, because if we sitting back and y'all having a conversation and you kicking some weird shit and I hear that shit and I be like, man, what's your source for that? And then you ignore me and act like you didn't hear me ask you for that motherfucking source on some slick shit you just said. That's a problem. Now, mamas, mothers, women, and men with kids, Kofi, I know I'm letting them rip this show. But I apologize for cussing. I'm going to keep cussing, but I apologize for cussing. I know it messes up the show, but I'm emphasizing here, but I do want to apologize to y'all. All right. Good citation practices make you a better writer. So when we're reading, listen, I'm finna tell y'all something. from the very first book I wrote to the very last article or anything else that I've written, my citations changed and it evolved because I was citing shit totally different. But that came from also learning through that process, getting better at citing my sources. And it did make me a better writer. It got rid of some laziness and it made me understand things better. 6, a good bibliography shows off your scientific knowledge. So you start, when you looked at the work, notice when I was presenting, doing just presentations, I always put my sources at the end of the presentation. I evolved from doing that to putting the formatting the sources within the context of where I use the source, and I was providing that to people. That was growth, development. That was being careful. That was showing that I am doing more rigorous research and studying and citing it in a sense that you could locate that immediately. Then I went into putting each source at the end of each chapter. So therefore, once you've seen the source name and you saw the sources at the end of the chapter, you know exactly and immediately where that information came from. Careful citation practices will build your credibility as a scientist or scholar. Ladies and gentlemen, if the ultimate goal for someone, and I'm just speaking, might not be for you, but for someone else is to be as close as possible to being a scientist or a scholar, then you have to put yourself in the realm or in the scope of, right, practicing your work that way. So that let me do something better. So Dr. Cole, everybody knows that I love Dr. Cole, right? John Hopkins, right? During the pandemic, qualified out the ass, black doctor, like on her, doctor, can't wait for her book to come out type. She pulled something from me and said, you know what? I like the way you did this, this, and this, and this. This is something that I could use because I feel like I'm trying to reach the same audience and yada, 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 and even expand an audience and so on and so forth. That was an honor to hear that from a credible doctor. You understand me? An MD. Like for real, for real. Something so small as what I thought was small and simple, but it ended up being a really big deal. That she's drawing that from me, but that lets me know that and how I was writing it and how the book was formatted. She was letting me know that that was some good stuff. To be someone who didn't have that same expertise, but had some credible knowledge on the said subject, and she respected that. That I was doing the research and understanding and learning from that research and knowing how to go and get these studies and provide that data. Because some studies people wasn't even familiar with. But when she read the book, she was like, oh, I just read this one the other day or something. She would say stuff to me like that. Like, you're doing a good job of like trying to keep up with what's really going on with the subject matter. Like y'all don't even understand that. So that goes toward credibility is my point of not just writing to be writing, but making sure that you're writing in a level that not only the layperson can understand it, but the experts can respect it, if that makes sense. Citation enables better verifications of your work. So those are the 6. And I didn't want to break them down, but I wanted to provide them to you because it's very important. Now, what I'm about to do is be me. And in being me, right, that means I'm just going to be, at this point, I'm beating a dead horse because supportive evidence is basically what I'm doing. So to support everything that I said earlier, you know, another source says, why cite sources? As a student, citing is important because it shows you're a reader or professor that you have invested time in learning what has already been learned and thought about the topic before offering your own perspective. It is the practice of giving credit to the sources that inform your work. Think about that. We know that in this conscious community, or in this community that we say is supposed to be conscious, people are not reading their sources. They're not. They're trying to find some shit, cherry pick it real quick, microwave that bitch up and serve it to us and want us to eat it and not ask no questions. Just flat out accept the bullshit. So it says here, our definitions of academic integrity. Y'all already mentioned integrity earlier. Academic misconduct and plagiarism also gives us important reasons for citing the sources we use to accomplish academic research. Here are all the good reasons for citing: to avoid plagiarism, maintain academic integrity, to acknowledge the works of others, to provide credibility to your work and to place your work in context, to help your future researching self and other researchers easily locate sources. Yeah. So let's identify parts of a citation real quick as I wrap my shit up. Citing or documenting the sources used in your research serves three purposes. It gives proper credit to the authors of the words or ideas that you incorporated in your paper or conversation. It allows those who are reading your work to locate your sources in order to learn more about the ideas that you included in your paper. And the third thing is citing your sources consistently and accurately helps you avoid committing plagiarism in your writing. But more importantly, it gives you credibility with people that you're unfamiliar with and never had a conversation with. So it lets them know where you're coming from, right? And what you're knowledgeable about. So when I ask you for a source, I am marrying all these things in this conversation that come down to the end of it being about credibility and logic. Never mind the emotion, but if you have some emotion on the subject matter, that lets me know that you're passionate about said subject, no matter how right or wrong you are. That's a positive for me. Now, if you just passionate and wrong, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate your passion, but you full of shit. Period. There's no way around it. Plus, I need to know where you're getting this information from. I want to know where you're getting this information from. When was it published? And is it relevant to the discussion? And is it something that I need to study further to better understand for myself? So, when a motherfucker asks me, let me take that back. Let me take that back. When a sister asks me and a brother asks me, who are you and what makes you think that you can require a source? Based on the information that I have provided to you, you should now understand why I ask for a source. I'm going to say that one more time. Based on the information that I provided to you in this build, you should understand why I ask for your source. I am looking for the credibility of the source that you're using to draw your conclusions and base your conclusions on, the data in which you inherited, the relevancy of the source, and if you even fucking read the source your damn self and understood it properly. Because we got people like VNote who will show up in your chat and have a conversation going in one direction, and then just because he see the word black or brown he will lose his goddamn mind and misrepresent the entirety of the goddamn source because it said black or brown. Never understanding that most of these people that he's referring to is painting themselves, and he's using pictures to argue that, nah, look at this picture. But the picture has a citation under it. Did you read the picture? The citation under the picture? No. Look at the picture. Forget the citation. That's what V-Note said. I didn't say that. He said it. And I don't know if he in the chat or not. But that's what he said. That's an example of why we asked for the source. Is the source V-Note providing, is a credible source? A lot of times it is. Is his interpretation of the source accurate? Hell to the no. To the no. Hell to the no. So therefore, no one should have a problem anymore when I ask for a source. All of this, who are you? Why you think that you can request or require a source? You're not an authority. I'm not acting like that. We're in a fucking back chat arguing about information. So the whole intent and purpose of the call that we're on and what we're arguing about is about the goddamn information. So I need to know where that shit came from. I don't give a fuck if you play video games, if you're married with this motherfucker. I don't give a damn if you just met him and fell in love with him. I don't care if you're washing the motherfucker dirty drawers. None of that is relevant. What is relevant is what the motherfucker said, and can they provide the goddamn evidence for it? That's all I care about. Fuck your feelings. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't care how infatuated you might be with a person. I don't care if it's you got a man crush Monday or a woman crush Wednesday. Whatever they opened their mouth and said, I need that source. It ain't about you. It's about me. Because I'm trying to find out how credible you are, how much integrity that you have as a human being. Are you full of shit? I'm looking for all of those things. So many moons ago, and I'm saying it very scientifically, many moons ago, right? I read a book to y'all, and we discussed it about scientific integrity. It's like I always got to go backwards, man, to make my point forward, because either some people that act like they never know who I was, or I might be new to the community, or just now coming across certain things, and you got to let them know, you got to show them who you are sometime, right? So I recommended the book Scientific Integrity, Texts and Cases and Responsible Conduct of Research. One of the reasons that I recommended the book is because it helped me in my research. It made me a better researcher. Not only that, but critical thinking, right? So people can't just really say whatever the fuck they want to say and then it get past me. No, it's not how I roll. It's not. I don't care if you cussing me out, whatever. But based on what I showed you today, you can come to the conclusion if I passed the bar or not, according to what I argued. And the reason why I asked for a source. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick. Let me put y'all up on something real quick. Hold on. Hold on, real quick. Listen, I want y'all to hear this shit for your goddamn self. I ain't gonna let you hear everything, but I want y'all to hear this shit. Listen, This is why I asked for a source.
Did you do it with the sound? I don't see the sound on matter of fact, just show your entire screen. Go to the entire screen and then just do it that way. And then go to your
we can get into that into another. So here's a guy that he had a whole video that came out on CNN last year for Juneteenth. So I'm going to read over it, and I met the scientists at this building. So now let's consider genealogy and oral traditions, unlike DNA tests, which provide a generalized view. Many Black American families have detailed genealogical records and oral history tracing their roots directly to American Indian tribes. These personal and detailed stories offer more nuanced understandings of ancestry, often missing from the scientific debate. You will witness in this video aired on Juneteenth 2023 last year a real story about CNN News anchor who finds out that he's American Indian through genealogical records, not DNA testing. This is a classic example of evidence that backs up what Grandma said.
All right, so he's playing a video. At this point, we don't know where the video comes from, but he makes an assertion that this video was played on Juneteenth. Yada, 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 yada. His argument is for genealogical and oral thought or oral traditions. That's what he's saying. Now listen to the video that he plays and then watch the bullshit.
To show off the expanse and resonance of the museum's Center for Family History, researchers traced my genealogy. Now listen, as a Black man.
Now, real quick, and I listen, I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. I don't know where this video come from, but some dude got his @ symbol up there. He got his @ symbol up there. This ain't CNN, Fox, none of that shit. But let me let him play his video. Here you go.
With deep roots in the American South, I thought I knew where my story was headed. I was very wrong. Very few moments in my career have ever brought me to this. This is, man. It happened at the International African American Museum in Charleston, South Carolina.
Then he stopped the video.
The next clip, please.
He stopped the video. He stopped the video. Soon as the dude said something about Charleston, South Carolina, the goddamn video stops. Don't even prove his point. Next video. Same guy, I think. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Blackwell family. Go ahead.
This is a tree, just a snapshot of your tree, and I'm following your maternal line.
All right, next. For those of you who conflate genealogy with DNA testing, confusing the two, is a snapshot of what a genealogical research actually is, which is the process of using historical records to find information about people and family, including vital records such as birth.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I told y'all that he's reading something and it ain't on the screen, you wouldn't know that because all you're doing is listening. He's reading something and it ain't on the screen. We don't know where the information is coming from, so we can't follow along and understand properly because he doesn't cite a source. We don't know his source. This is why I ask for a source. Let me give you more examples using this dumb nigga.
Birth, death, and marriage certificates, census records, newspapers, probate records, periodicals, land deeds, and so forth. It's crucial to understand that DNA is just one tool, one that is imperfect and incomplete. Our family story support by detailed records often tell us more about our roots than DNA tests ever could.
For some answers, we have to go back more than 300 years to my great grandmother, Mary. She arrived on a ship in Northumberland County, Virginia in 1712.
Pause. Earlier, he had just told us that this dude was supposed to be a Native American. But his great-great-great-great-great-grandmother Mary arrives into the new world in a fucking ship.
Before America was America. Her granddaughter, my 8 times great-grandmother, Bess, was with her. That's according to this centuries-old deposition that Dr. Murphy's team uncovered. Why a deposition?
He gonna tell us that this lady is gonna be a white woman. Would that surprise you?
Learn that a little later.
And Bess at the time was about 13 years old. Witnesses apparently said they looked like they were Indians.
Researchers believe that Mary and Bess were actually Matabani, like these people of that region of Virginia.
All right, you cannot go back 300 years in DNA and expect accuracy, but you can go back that far and even further back with paper trail.
Whoa! DNA can go back further. How to, bro? Let me show y'all something real quick. You can go 6 to 8 generations. He went 6 to 8 generations, depending on the DNA test. Depending on that, he said you can go 300 years on paper. Ain't nobody got 300 years on paper. That's hard press. That's hard press. We even can go further back. But what it is saying, how far back you can go, we can go back thousands of years or more. The thing is that it's just gonna start giving you a geographical location at that point. It's not gonna tell you about your distant relatives. Listen to the man. Let him argue.
Portrayal. Guess what? This CNN report found out that they were able to trace his roots to.
This wasn't even a seat, bro. This can't be on C. I'm gonna find out if it's on CNN. He better hope this motherfucker's on CNN, because the way this shit looking that he shared, it don't look like no CNN to me.
America, predating the United States, not an African kingdom or province. This proves that oral tradition that many of us rely on, in other words, what grandma said, is actually the truth, not a lie. The reality is that these personal and detailed stories offer a more nuanced understanding of ancestry, often missing from the scientific debate. These narratives reveal our connections to this land and predate the transatlantic slave trade theory. Yet people still dismiss truth with the oversimplified, social accepted African diaspora narrative.
Woo!
Critics may argue emphasizing our American.
Look, all right. So, how far back can DNA tests be traced? You see the answer? I'm gonna read it to you. How far DNA can be traced depends on the type of DNA being tested, the type of DNA test being used, and the sensitivity of the test. Through these different categories of DNA testing, most people can discover ancestors as recent as parents and learn about their direct line, maternal and paternal ancestry back as far as 150,000 to 60,000 years, respectively. So he's already dead underwater. Already dead underwater, ladies and gentlemen. Already dead underwater. Let's continue.
Our American Indian ancestry undermines possible African roots, however, acknowledging the full spectrum of our.
Hey, he didn't go back to that video, Sha. He didn't go back to the video. He didn't let dude finish telling what it was about that video. He didn't let the CNN dude finish telling people how his granny came up off that boat. He didn't get into any of that. He went in a whole nother direction. Now he moved.
Ancestry, rather than a dogmatic, narrow-minded approach, enhances our understanding and respects all aspects of our heritage. It is not about replacing one history with another. It's about recognizing
his methodology is fucked up
of our past. And it is not about flaunting us into a homogenous clump with the title.
He just talking.
American demonstrated here in the Beavis and Butthead clip.
So he moved directly about the point.
And he couldn't talk, and he was talking about gum. Yeah. No, I think you're not supposed to be Indian either. Wait, really? Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans.
That's some shit he made up.
So as you heard from Chief Sekou Hidden Eagle Eye Joe from Yamasee Nation, in this short video of First Coast TV acknowledging indigenous heritage challenges existing governmental and social structure. He also explains how the Creek, aka Seminole, from the Yamasee Nation, which refutes YK the Truth's claim in his book about slaves only being African and being owned by slaves. Sheds a light on the complexities of slavery, turning the 5 civilized tribes narrative on its head.
We don't
divisive
have a source.
Listen, the term Seminole means runaway and idiot.
He just reading.
What a maroon isolation.
Now, he didn't move the goalpost again because he went off that point to another. I'm not going to play too much more because he get into a 60-minute and then he does that. He's debating these different things, but he didn't stick to one point and try to deal with this shit respectively at all. And then YK goes up. I ain't even finna sit here and get into no more of that. But that is one of the reasons why I ask for a source. Because I'm not going to let you do this to me. I'm not. You're not about to do this to me. Right. Whole genome sequencing. This nigga don't know what he's talking about, man. So again, I'm going to end right there. But that is the main reason why I ask for sources, because people misrepresent information. And we have the evidence for that. And I don't care who don't like it. I'm not going to argue with you in the back on a phone call screaming over each other because you're trying to make your little point and you want to protect your ninja. Protect your ninja. I don't care. Protect your ninja. I don't care. But the ninja information better be accurate or what's up. So again, y'all might see me come back later on, and I already have a rebuttal in play for this dude round one. You never know with me, man, but I got something to do. I'm about to go do what I gotta do and enjoy the rest of my day. So I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. So the next time I ask you for a source, just provide it. Just provide it.
How the fuck y'all find an African in my fucking family, but y'all ain't find y'all own genealogy? Shut the fuck up. That don't make sense, for one. Listen, y'all don't know what y'all did.
I feel like you standing on business.
Y'all lied on me, because y'all don't even know if that's me. And if y'all can trace that shit back to it's me, it's only 2 people in YouTube that got my information.
Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of this track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us honestly. You ain't a Cherokee, nope. You ain't a Chickasaw, nope. You ain't a Blackfoot, nope. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Call that apple slipping with his genealogy. Now he's a con and I ain't talking about a singer. I'm coming for the top apple leader. He ain't a teacher, he's a preacher. He can't keep up, so we leave him. Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of the track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us possibly. You ain't a Cherokee, no. You ain't a Chickasaw, no. You ain't a Blackfoot. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, C, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an apple slipping off his genealogy. Now he's a con. OTK. TKO. Now he's a con. OTK. You died. TKO. Genealogy.